the difference between helping, pro-social helping behavior, pro-social behavior and altruism. अभी तक तो आपको ये सब एक जैसे लग रहे हैं, क्या फर्क है? Can anyone tell me? हेल्पिंग बिहेवियर, प्रो सोशल बिहेवियर और ऑल्ट्रुइज्म में आपको क्या समझ में आ रहा है फर्क? आई लव क्लास पार्टिसिपेशन, वन साइड कम्युनिकेशन में मजा नहीं आता. गलत सही जो आपको आता है बताइए. यस, ओके. ओके, एनीवन एल्स? एक स्टूडेंट ने तो बता दिया जो आपको समझ में आ रहा है. गलत सही कुछ नहीं है, क्योंकि अंत में आप कुछ सही सीख के जाएंगे. व्हाट?
सोसाइटी के बिहेवियर के लिए करते हैं, सोसाइटी के फायदे के लिए करते हैं.
ओके,
बिहेवियर में हम अपने जानकारों के लिए करते हैं.
ओके, एनीवन एल्स? ओके, सो प्लीज नोट डाउन द डिफरेंस. Helping behavior refers to all the actions performed with the intention to improve the situation of a person. You are trying to give your best in your conduct to improve the person's current situation. आप help इसलिए कर रहे हैं जिससे किसी की situation में सुधार आए. That is your helping behavior. It refers to all the actions performed with the intention to improve. Intention matters. In these behaviors, intention matters. Your intention is to improve the situation of person in the need. It is done for any needy person. ये समझ में आ गया helping behavior? Next is pro-social behavior. अब हेल्प करना एक हेल्पिंग बिहेवियर है, ठीक है. प्रो सोशल विल बी अ फॉर्म ऑफ अ हेल्प which is not motivated by any type of professional obligation. मतलब प्रोफेशनल ऑब्लिगेशन मतलब आप अपने प्रोफेशन में आगे बढ़ने के लालच में हेल्प नहीं कर रहे हो. You are just helping for the benefit of other person. You have no particular personal agenda. You have no greed. You are not having any money-minded intention. That is your pro-social behavior. You are not doing it with any monetary intention. And it is done with the intention to benefit a person in need, but may not be directly providing any type of benefit to the helper. Now, in pro-social behavior, the person in need is getting all the help. जिसको ज़रूरत है उसको तो सारी हेल्प मिल रही है, उसका सारा बेनिफिट हो रहा है, पर हेल्पर को कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. हेल्पर शुड नॉट वर्क विद द इंटेंशन ऑफ एनी ग्रीड, एनी मनी. नुकसान हो या ना हो, फायदा भी नहीं हो रहा है हेल्पर को, वो सिर्फ किसी और के भली के लिए हेल्प कर रहा है. एंड ही कैन ऑल्सो हैव अ चांस टू इन्वॉल्व सम रिस्क फॉर हिमसेल्फ. हेल्पर को क्या पता रिस्क भी हो. सपोज इफ यू आर हेल्पिंग अ पर्सन हु हैज मेट विद अ कार एक्सीडेंट ऑन द रोड. नाउ रिस्क इज मे बी पुलिस कम्स एंड गिव्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी टू यू दैट यू आर देयर, यू आर हेल्पिंग, you take care. Maybe you have to arrange for medical emergency, maybe you have to go to the police station. Struggle is all yours. You are not getting anything out of it, you are just helping someone. Rather you are taking the pain to help someone. So it can be positively valued by society. Yes, if you are helping, you are doing some good to someone. आप किसी का भला कर रहे हो अपने आप पे सारे कष्ट लेके. So it is definitely appreciated by society. So we have learned two behaviors. One is helping behavior, one is pro-social behavior. Third is altruism. 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 Remember Mother Teresa for altruism. She had helped so many such needy people. and she got Nobel Prize for this help and this peaceful behavior. So, it refers to that pro-social behavior which ultimately intends to benefit the person in need. I am repeating, it is referring to that pro-social behavior which ultimately intends to benefit the person in need without any expectation or direct or even indirect benefits of oneself. So, you cannot expect any benefit for yourself out of helping someone. You cannot have any greed कि अच्छा मैंने किसी का ये किया तो उसके बदले मुझे ये मिलेगा. There is no give and take in altruism because no one forces you. आपको थोपा नहीं गया है कि आपको करना ही पड़ेगा, आप खुद अपने आप कर रहे हो. So it is completely selfless act. Pro-social behavior may not always be a selfless act. Maybe you are helping someone whom you know, but altruism is a selfless act. इतना स्ट्रगल किया, जैसे मदर टेरेसा को दिमाग में रख के आप समझेंगे, she struggled so much and she didn't get anything out of it. She just kept on helping people till the end. उन्होंने अपने बारे में सोच के नहीं किया कुछ, बस करती थी. Unintentionally she used to help. So it is completely selfless act performed by solely benefiting the receiver of the help. So it is a selfless act and it is only for the benefit of the person in need. You will not get anything out of it. So these were the 3 types of behavior interpersonal processes में. So we have learnt about helping behavior, pro-social behavior and altruism in interpersonal process. Next is, what are the theories of pro-social behavior? Please note them down. There are 4 theories. First is kin selection theory. Second is empathy altruism hypothesis. Number 1 kin selection theory. एक फ्लो चार्ट बना लीजिए आप, आपके लिए बहुत हेल्प करेगा फ्लो चार्ट एग्जाम टाइम में. 3 types of interpersonal behavior are pro-social, helping behavior and altruism. Now 4 theories of pro-social behavior are kin selection, empathy altruism hypothesis, kin selection, empathy altruism hypothesis. Please fill your attendance sheet and please fit yourself in the middle row, it will be easier. Third is negative state relief model. Third theory is negative state relief model. And the fourth theory is empathic joy hypothesis. 4 theories are kin selection theory, second is empathy altruism hypothesis, third is negative state relief model and the fourth is empathic joy hypothesis. Has everyone noted these 4 theories? Let us see the explanation. First is kin selection theory. Kin means family, blood relations. ठीक है? That is your kinship. So it considers that as compared to strangers, we often help those people whom we know, who are in our family. A mother, a person who is a parent who has a baby, more than a stranger's baby will help his or her own baby, will take care of his or her own baby as compared to a stranger's. That is but natural. That is about kin selection theory. आप अपने लोगों का ज़्यादा ख्याल रखते हैं, आप अपने लोगों की ज़्यादा मदद करते हैं जब ज़रूरत होती है, तुलना में उन लोगों से जिनको आप जानते भी नहीं हैं. So as per this approach, we end up helping those people who have close blood relations with us. Be it anyone, but blood relations or even someone whom we know, like a friend. Blood relations नहीं है but friend तो है, आपको पता है कि ठीक है, you have good relations with a person, so you will help. So this model of pro-social behavior is based on genetic determinism. Please note this down. Genetic determinism, where a person is motivated to help only those who are genetically related to that person. So you end up helping those people who are genetically related to you, who have blood relations with you, who are a part of your family, be it any age. इतना सबको समझ में आ गया kin selection में? You are helping those who are in blood relation with you. Next is empathy altruism hypothesis. Empathy altruism hypothesis. So according to this theory, the pro-social behavior is when a person's empathy. Does everyone know what is empathy? What is empathy? Okay, anyone else who can explain what empathy is? Yes. Yes, exactly. So in empathy, very simple definition is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. इतना याद कर लीजिए, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Please note this down. आप empathy को समझेंगे तभी उसका आप theory भी समझेंगे. आप किसी और की तकलीफ को अच्छी तरह से समझ पा रहे हैं अपने आप पे उसकी तकलीफ को लेके. Please fill your attendance sheet. I have already circulated. So according to this theory, which is empathy altruism hypothesis, altruism आपको पता है, very selflessly you are helping someone without any greed, without anything, without expecting anything in return. Please don't make noise. Now empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding the situation of a person as if you are in that situation. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes means you are understanding someone else's situation, someone else's plight, be it a positive situation or a negative situation, as if you are going through it. In counseling often it is required. So suppose if a person is seeing someone in an emergency, जैसे एक्सीडेंट हो गया, किसी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया, वो एक्सीडेंट का जो विक्टिम है उसके लिए तो एक सर्वाइवल इमरजेंसी हो गई. अगर उसको हेल्प नहीं मिलेगा ही माइट डाई. इमरजेंसी है, क्राइसिस है. सो इन दैट केस यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, अगर मेरे साथ यही होता मैं कैसा बिहेव करता, मैं किस हालत में होता, मैं मदद मांगने का मन करता मेरा, तो उसी के हालत को आप समझते हो, उसकी मदद करते हो. दैट इज योर एम्पैथी. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस अप्रोच, people respond to a situation by giving help because the victim needs help and because helper too gets a feel good factor after helping. सर ये कहाँ लगेगा? Now why do we help people? There are two reasons why we help people. हाँ पर दिख नहीं रहा। सर ये सब तो क्लास शुरू होने से पहले देखना चाहिए ना।
इनको बोला था मैडम, ये तो ये नीचे ना इनका पता चला गया था।
It's for BA program. BA program. सर अब नहीं काम कर रहा तो कोई बात नहीं। Please fill your attendance sheets and don't make noise. You are in the middle of the class. You should have come at 10. It's 10:37. Yes. Don't make it difficult for me. So, next is negative state relief model. Very simple. Why do we help people? We help people for their good, for their benefit, right? But what happens is, suppose you are in a very bad mood. Yes? I told you why we help, because it gives you a feel good factor in empathy. When you are seeing that someone is in pain, someone is in a difficult situation and you are helping that person will feel good, he will feel thankful to you and you will also feel good. That is about feel good factor, which is also being continued in negative relief model. Negative relief means you are getting a relief from your negative emotions. How? When you are helping a person, suppose you are in a very bad mood, you just had a tussle with someone and you are in a very aggressive, very antisocial mood, but you are seeing a person needs help, a person is asking some help from you and you help that person. What you will feel that okay, at least I am useful for someone. किसी के लिए मैं बेकार हूँ, लड़ाई हो गई है, कोई मुझे बिल्कुल ही धुतकारता है, नालायक समझता है, पर किसी के लिए तो मैं काम आया. That makes you boost your positive side of yourself. It boosts up your positive emotions. So you are getting a relief from your negative mindset, from your negative emotions. That is your negative relief model. Then comes empathetic joy hypothesis. Empathetic joy hypothesis. What it states is that a person's pro-social behavior motivates is motivated by the pleasure which he assumes to experience in lieu of positive impact in life by helping others. So, what happens is a person by helping others feels some positive emotion. He gets the joy out of helping people. That is your empathic joy hypothesis. Now, we will first we have seen what are interpersonal processes, then we saw various types of interpersonal processes, which is pro-social behavior, altruism, and which was the third one? Helping behavior. Then we saw the various types of theories of pro-social behavior. That was the fourth heading. The fifth is factors which are affecting the pro-social behavior. कि क्या ऐसे reasons हैं क्या ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जिनसे हमारा प्रो सोशल बिहेवियर इफेक्ट हो रहा है? फर्स्ट इज किनशिप. नाउ as we had discussed earlier, we end up helping those people who are related to us, mostly family. Kin means family, kin means blood relations. So it is the degree of relatedness to the people कि कोई आपका क्या लग रहा है, फादर है, मदर है, सिबलिंग है, कोई और रिलेटिव है, कोई आपका क्या लगता है ब्लड रिलेशंस में जिसके वजह से आप किसी की मदद कर रहे हैं. Certainly you can't see your parents in pain, you can't see your own child in any pain or difficulty, nor can you see any of your relatives or siblings in any difficulty. नानी नाना दाई दादा बूढ़े लोग हैं, मदद कर रहे हैं आप उनकी. Certainly you can't see कि वो तड़प रहे हैं, आप हंसी मजाक कर रहे हैं. You will not do that. You will help them in every possible way, जो भी आप कर सकते हैं. That is because of your kinship theory and kinship behavior. So people are more likely to help in their kin, and particularly more so in life or death cost help situation. Someone is on his deathbed taking his last few minutes of life, and certainly you can't leave that person. कोई जीने और मरने के बीच में है और आप मजे मार रहे हो, ऐसा करोगे ही नहीं. आप कुछ भी करोगे उसको सर्वाइव करवाओगे ना पहले आप, then other things you will take lightly. So that is about your kinship behavior. Then comes reciprocal altruism. कोई आपका भला करेगा, आप किसी और का भला करोगे. It's always a give and take. It's not that someone will help you and you will do an anti-social behavior on that person. हो ही नहीं सकता. We often tend to help those people whom we feel can be helpful for us in future. पहले से ही हम उनकी मदद करते हैं because we can predict कि ये बाद में हमारे काम आएगा. पहले से ही अच्छे relations बनाओ, help करो, do everything possible so that later that person can also feel that he has to do something for you in return. Reciprocal means in return, as a reply. कहते हैं ना reciprocate, please reciprocate means please reply, please respond. So help is provided as an obligation. एक एहसान मान के हम हेल्प कर रहे हैं आगे के भले के लिए कि आप किसी के लिए कुछ अच्छा करो, बाद में वो आपके काम आएगा, वो आपका भला करेगा जब आपको मदद चाहिए होगी. Then comes similarity. You end up helping those people who are similar to you, be it your caste, your religion, your gender, your ethnicity. Even if that person is in your same location, you will help your neighbor more than you will help any other person residing anywhere else. So we tend to strongly feel for the people who are like us on the basis of caste, race, nationality, gender, and we are more likely to help them because we feel that since there is some similarity, so the difficulties are also similar and they all are sailing through in the same situation, they all are going through the same situation. So we can help those people considering their difficulties as our difficulties. Then comes gender. Now women are observed to be of more helping nature than that of men. ये मैं नहीं कह रही, ये रिसर्च कह रहा है. There is nothing so personal about it, but this is what research has affirmed. So men end up showing chivalry or even heroic acts as a helping behavior, but that is only for limited people. Women are more helping in nature. Besides, whereas women provide long-term care for a person in need. Suppose if a person is sick, the woman will not leave that person till he is completely hale and hearty once again. ये नहीं कि एक ग्लास पानी दिया, दवाई का एक डोज दिया और चली गई. We hardly see women not being committed. We hardly see women showing more of antisocial acts. Besides this, victim who is physically attractive is more likely to receive help. Suppose a rich boy has met with a car accident. BMW का तहस नहस हो गया उसके रोड एक्सीडेंट में. You will still help that rich man instead of helping a beggar who has also died because of the accident. Jolly LLB. Remember that movie? Next is age. So it has been observed that small children like infants, toddlers, उनको कुछ नहीं पता कैसे survive करना है. अभी अभी पैदा हुए हैं. They are so vulnerable. They don't know how to survive. They don't know how to procure food, habitat, clothes, anything. They are more needy. They need more help. And even old adults, senior citizens, almost bedridden, लाठी पकड़ के चल रहे हैं. They need more help as compared to young men and women who are more physically independent. मेट्रो में भी आप देखेंगे seats are reserved for people in need. So people who are in need are majority in very small children or very old people. They are more in need for help. Emotions and mood. So when we have positive emotions, we end up exhibiting more of pro-social behavior as compared to when we have negative emotions. But yes, it has also been observed that even if we are having negative emotions but we help people, we end up feeling little better as compared to showing all the more antisocial act. And more of pro-social behavior can lead to more of positive emotions. You feel that you are more worth of yourself as compared to not doing anything for anyone. For example, you are walking on a road and you are seeing an old age person is asking for some help for you कि बेटा ये पकड़ लो मेरे लिए, पॉलिथीन बैग पकड़ लो. चलिए अंकल आपके लिए पकड़ लेते हैं, कोई बात नहीं. At the end he will bless you, God bless you, thank you so much. You will feel good कि अच्छा मैं किसी के काम तो आया, राह चलते आदमी के काम आ गया. So next is bystander intervention model. ये आपके सारे प्रो सोशल बिहेवियर के टाइप्स हो गए, थ्योरीज हो गई, फैक्टर्स हो गए इंटरपर्सनल प्रोसेस में. अब आते हैं एक मॉडल पे, वो है bystander intervention model. So it is a 5-stage model that was made by Latane and Dale, and it gives the explanation about why bystander decides to give help or not. So we will see what are the steps, what are the stages in this 5-stage model. First is attending to the situation. Remember, bystander intervention model was given by Latane and Dale. Please note them down. Note these names so that you are able to learn. Bystander intervention model given by Latane and Dale. Now this model has 5 stages, and now we are going to see each and every stage in detail. First is attending to the situation, means that we have to see is there even an emergency or not. हम ऐसे ही तो नहीं मदद कर रहे, कोई किसी की मजबूरी है या नहीं, कोई नीड में है या नहीं, or is something unusual happening. All of a sudden there was some crisis. Is it something unusual, or these nitty gritty ups and downs are very much usual and expected? Emergencies are unusual. Something hazardous, something disastrous is unusual. टेररिस्ट अटैक हुआ या कोई प्लेन क्रैश हुआ, अनयूजुअल है, ये रोज की बात नहीं है. चालान कटना तो फिर भी रोज की बात हो जाती है. That is not emergency. So in case a person fails due to the inability to attend to a stimuli which he is preoccupied with, then no further processing of emergency takes place. If a person is already preoccupied, if a person is unable to attend to a stimuli, फिर वो emergency नहीं समझ पाएगा, because he is ignoring it. उसके लिए ये कोई emergency नहीं है, उसके लिए secondary चीज है. So in case the person understands that what is the plight of the situation, what is he perceiving the situation as, is he able to understand the situation's seriousness, is he able to understand the level of suffering of people due to a situation, then it can be an emergency for him. So what is an emergency, that also depends from person to person. अब जैसे बॉम्बे के ताज अटैक में, दिल्ली में इतने सारे लोगों के लिए कोई इमरजेंसी नहीं थी. We all were living our everyday life the way we live any other day. But there were, if you see, it's a very famous research of pro-social behavior. The way Tata's Taj at Bombay is of Tata's only. Tata ही उसके owner है, and look at the way the employees are trained. No employee left the customer unattended. ये नहीं कि employees भाग गए और customers unattended है, no. They all showed a pro-social behavior. So what is an emergency depends upon the person. Interpreting the situation, now you have to understand the situation कि emergency है भी या नहीं है, या someone is just boasting a situation, someone is just propagating a situation to highlight it and make an emergency out of it. So despite the recognition of the unusual event, the person may be unaware of complete information, such as some in-depth information that why it led to emergency, why it happened, now what is the state. In-depth information नहीं होती है कई बार regarding the event, and may look for cues for getting a complete understanding of it and accordingly interpret it either. So if a person wants to understand a situation to help, आपको situation समझ में नहीं आएगी तो आप help कैसे करोगे? You need to help someone, for that you need to know the state, you need to know the situation, you need to understand it. So you will fill the gaps of your lacking of information by first collecting it, and then you will understand it, then you will accordingly act to help people. Third stage is assuming the responsibility. अब ठीक है, you want to help, you have understood the crisis, you have understood the situation, but how will you help? आप कैसे contribute करेंगे, किस तरह से help करेंगे? You have to know how you will take the accountability, how you will take the responsibility to help people. Suppose if there is a car accident, you want to help, but how do you know how? Do you know whether the person even needs help or not? कई बार बाइक से लोग गिर जाते हैं, हेलमेट पहनते हैं, but there is no such dangerous injury, no fracture, nothing. एक खरोंच आ जाती है बस रोड की वजह से. That's no emergency. It's not the cost of life and death, because there is no such serious harm. So you need to know that how will you take the responsibility on yourself to help people. Once the situation is interpreted by the person, he can further take the decision to help the needful or not. You need to see that whether helping suits you also or not. आपके बस की है या ऐसी बस मन कर रहा है आपका, करोगे कैसे? In case there is only one person as a bystander, then he assumes the responsibility to take help. अब यहाँ पे जैसे social loafing आ जाती है, ये ठीक है इतने सारे लोग हैं मैं क्यों करूँ, कर लेगा कोई भी, पर अगर कोई भी नहीं होगा तो आप क्या पता कर भी दो. If in any emergency you can see so many more people who can take up the responsibility, you solely will not try them, you will pass it on to others. इतने सारे हैं मैं क्यों करूं, कोई और कर सकता है, मेरी क्या जरूरत है, I will not even be recognized for it. ऐसा हो जाता है. Though there are some people who don't think much about their getting famous or counting on what all they did, they just end up doing it. And and they diffuse. Diffuse मतलब they scatter. They will see okay there are so many more people in the crowd. कोई भी आगे आके help कर देगा. They will leave. They just scatter away. And there is no one person to take the charge of the situation. Then if all these people will start scattering, they will diffuse and they will further refuse to take the responsibility. ऐसे तो कोई बचेगा ही नहीं सर करने के लिए. People just pass it on to each other. There is lot of social loafing कि कौन करेगा, तू कर या तू कर, मैं तो नहीं करता, मैं बाद में कर लूँगा, थोड़ा सा कर लूँगा, देखा जाएगा. Then they start diffusing away. First they gather, they see no one is doing anything or people will do, then they start diffusing. Next is stage 4, which is assessing the ability to take an action. So once the person understands the emergency of the situations and assumes that it is his responsibility to provide help, then he proceeds with providing the necessary help required. So first he has to see that how much is his requirement, how serious is the situation, is he required or not. If he will see that yes there is no one, he will take a stand, he will take the responsibility, he will give the help. Or even if he has some knowledge कि मैं तो responsibility लेने के लिए तैयार हूँ पर मुझे ये नहीं पता कि मुझे काम कैसे करना है, knowledge ही नहीं है उसको, फर्स्ट एड नहीं देना आता लेकिन हेल्प करना चाहता है, इमरजेंसी टैकल नहीं करनी आती लेकिन हेल्प करना चाहता है. सो ही नीड्स टू नो हाउ टू डू द वर्क. So though the situation can be managed by using some basic or simple skills, the person must be able to independently provide help to the victim. ठीक है, फर्स्ट एड से मैनेज हो सकता है या किसी भी तरह से आप मैनेज कर सकते हो, हॉस्पिटल ले जा सकते हो, लेकिन फिर भी आपको ओवरऑल सिचुएशन को मैनेज करना आना चाहिए जिससे आप पूरी अकाउंटेबिलिटी ले पाएं. एंड द लास्ट स्टेज इज डिसाइडिंग वेदर टू एक्ट. अब आपने बहुत सोचा मैं कैसे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लूँ, कौन करेगा, करना है या नहीं करना है. Ultimately everything boils down to whether you are taking an action or not. Enough of your thoughts, वो आपके अंदर चल रहा है, that's intrapsychic. It's like an intrapsychic conflict. But ultimately what counts is your behavior, your action. People see only your action. Help करी है या नहीं करी है. So once the person progresses through the decision making process, the person finally decides whether or not to continue to remain engaged in helping behavior. He will comprehend the situation, he will examine the situation and then he will finally decide whether I should proceed still with my helping behavior or not proceed. I take a back step. After weighing the pros and cons of helping, which are called cognitive algebra, please note down this term. This calculation of whether there will be benefits or demerits of helping, whether to help or not, whether to show pro-social behavior in my behavior or my action or not, all this judgment is called cognitive algebra. It is nowhere related to maths otherwise. One variable, two variable कुछ नहीं है यहाँ पे. Sorry? Anyone has any queries? कोई कुछ पूछ रहा था? Those who have come late, please fill your attendance. Yes. Cognitive algebra means to decide the pros and cons of taking the responsibility for showing your pro-social or a helping behavior. प्रोज एंड कॉन्स को डिसाइड करना है कि अगर मैं किसी की मदद करता हूँ मुझे उसमें कितना बेनिफिट है या कितना नुकसान है, कितना मेरा रिस्क है, वो सब कैलकुलेट करके जब आप एक प्रो सोशल बिहेवियर का कंडक्शन दिखाते हो, दैट बिकम्स योर कॉग्निटिव अलजेब्रा. थैंक यू.